Hi guys, welcome back. Eric UK here with another vid. Last night I watched a couple of videos here on YouTube. One was from Samwise7RPG, which was a response to someone who contacted him, a new GM who was looking for players. And one from about 3 months ago by Dreamforgecast, tips for forming a gaming group. I will post the links to both of those below because they were both quite good and handy dandy videos. I've got to be honest, I've been quite lucky. I've never lacked for players, regardless of what it was, Warhammer, D&D, Magic the Gathering, what have you. But I thought I would just throw up just 3 or 4 tips for finding a gaming group. Now this doesn't matter again whether you're talking a role-playing game, whether you're talking a card game, board game, war game, what have you. 1. Ads in shop windows. Over here you find them in newsagents. I assume you have the same sort of thing in the States if that's where you live. People advertising for gaming groups. That's how I found my first gaming group after I left school. Was someone advertising looking for a group to join or start. That led to a gaming group that lasted for 12 years and spawned the one that I'm currently in on a Sunday, which has lasted for almost 20 years. All because of looking for an ad in the shop window for D&D players. So I recommend that. If there isn't one there, then it doesn't mean there isn't anyone in your community that's looking. They're just probably doing the same thing you are, which is looking for ads rather than throwing out, I am looking for players. So what I recommend is you actually put an ad in the shop window saying that you're looking for players for whichever game system or whatever you play. 2, do the same thing at libraries. Libraries usually are a community focus, and they normally have a message board for local interest groups or special interest groups or whatever, and basically I think hobby gaming falls into that. So you can always look there, and again, if there isn't anything, put a poster up or an ad up yourself. If you have a game store, I'm guessing you aren't particularly interested in looking for new players on this sort of vid if you've got a gaming store, because you've probably surrounded yourself by players. But if you have a gaming store and you're still kind of new into the hobby and what have you, then go in there, ask around, and if they have a message board, put something up. It's all about getting you out to the relevant people. 4th, don't be ashamed of being a geek. Geek is in, geek is chic. Talk to family, friends. Assuming there isn't going to be any problems with it, talk to work colleagues. We have a guy in our Sunday night Pathfinder RPG game who is here, or part of the group, because he overheard another player at work talking about Dungeons and Dragons. And he basically went, "Oh, what's D&D?" And he's been part of our gaming group now for about 15, 16 years. So, it's amazing where you can find players. So just don't be afraid, don't go out and shout it from the rooftops. Be subtle, but if it comes up in a conversation, especially if people are talking something like the new Hobbit movie or Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, you could probably drop it into a conversation and go, well, I play something that's similar, ... You never know, you might find yourself some new players or a new gaming group. Lastly, I'll tackle something, that I noticed in a couple of videos that I watched, which was basically, assuming in this case Dungeons and Dragons, the rulebook at new players. I've always been an advocate of players don't need to know the rules. Simple as. The whole point of it being role-playing is that they decide what they're doing. The GM needs to know the rules, or at least enough of them to cover the eventualities. But you don't need to drop a 500-600 page tome on a new player and go, yeah, these are the rules, because that's a surefire way of getting them to get up and go, I think I'll pass. Explain the very, very basics. If needs be, even create characters for their first session, so they haven't got to worry about it, and they can just jump straight into the game. Don't tell them what they can and can't do. Let them say what they're doing, and then you basically explain. If something's relevant, you go, right, so you're trying to climb the wall, it's a climb check, it's this roll. If they go, right, what can I do in combat? Go, what do you want to do in combat? You know, that sort of thing. Let them dictate the flow. You as the GM control the rules. That, I find, is the best way to introduce new players to a role-playing game. And I think you can say the same thing about wargaming, collectible card games and board games. That's my suggestions and tips for finding players. Hopefully, you know, it's simple, it will help you get players. You know, good luck with that. Any questions or comments, feel free to drop them below, and good luck. Until next time, take care and good game.